What's going on, everybody? Sorry it's been a while. I haven't been pretty sick and trying to have a couple of life changes happen. So we're trying to get back on track with everything I got going on over here. But we are back. We're gonna keep the content rolling. We're gonna try to see if we can get this thing running, hopefully by the end of the year, maybe beginning of next year, have it actually done so I can drive to some shows. It would be nice for everybody to be able to see this thing and check it out in person rather than watching videos all the time. Welcome back, everybody. Today we are actually going to get going on the brake lines and try to get them entirely complete so I have nothing to do with the brakes anymore. Hopefully I can get everything finished. Hopefully everything seals. Hopefully I don't have any issues. So that's the So I do have the front brake lines here. I have the hydro brake here, but we're gonna be replacing that. I got a hold of somebody from Finishing Lines and I told him what I needed. They do all sorts of brake lines for Hondas and everything else. The finishinglines.com. And check this out. Quality on these lines is insane. Nice thick lines. Now these were custom made to my setup. I'm pretty sure they do a bunch of different lines for different cars. You can also have them do a custom setup if you'd like. But these I had custom made specifically for my hydro brake. So as you know, this hydro brake is a little more complicated, as you've got this weird 7/16-20 and a 3/8-24 inlet and outlet on here. So it's kind of weird fitting size. But I did let him know which master cylinder it was, and he had told me it's fine. He probably has the fittings for them, so he made me fittings for both of these. One of these is going to go underneath the car. It's going to go to a splitter, and it's going to the rear for the rear brakes. The other one is going to come from here, and it's going to go to the front of the car. And that's going to come out up here, and it's going to plug right into here. Fittings custom made, like I said. 3AN here, 7/16 there, and 3/8 there. So we're gonna get these bad boys installed and hopefully have the brake system completed today. And we got the hydro brake lines in. That one's there. I might have to tuck it away somewhere. I'll see what I have to do with it, but it looks pretty good. Then we got them in here. Yeah, the feed comes from the inside of the engine bay. I got that tucked up all in there nice. And then I got this one here, goes underneath the car, and that's hooked up to the rear. I do have to order a splitter for the rear because the one I have just isn't going to work. So I'll have to get a new one, put it in. Everything's already flared, ready to go. All I gotta do is hook it up. Like I said, this one just doesn't work. The way the lines come in, it's just kind of weird and it would look janky, so I didn't like it, so I'm gonna do another one. We're gonna get a different one and get that installed, and the brake system will be completely done. I'll just have to bleed the lines. I am going to actually end up getting new front lines. It's because I kind of like this look a lot better. So we'll end up doing the front lines. That way it looks entirely fresh up in the front of the car. Let me actually look at it because it kind of looks a little weird and I don't like it. So we'll see how that goes. But overall, I like it. Looks pretty good. I do have some parts ordered. I'm waiting on a few other parts to come in. So until those come in, I can't really get any further. But I did order some injectors I did order an intercooler because I do want a new one the way I want it set up on the car, the way the old one was, which I don't even think, oh, this one here, right here. I don't like having the inlet on each side. So we went and ordered PLM intercooler. It's just rated for about 800 horse. So we did order that. And we're working on some brackets earlier to get this all mounted up. So hopefully we can get it mounted, the bracket made and get it mounted. And then I have to have these, I want to get new bands for this, have them welded. I do not want to run couplers. So we're going to get this figured out soon. But I did order that. I also ordered a K-tuned water plate along with the electric water pump. And apparently it's the good one. It's not the crappy one, not the Chinese one. So we did order this kit. We got it off Kevin from Revline, Kansas City. And hopefully we can get this thing installed. Pretty good quality, honestly. It looks pretty good. I've never installed one. This will be the first time actually really looking at it, because I haven't seen it. I kind of just ordered it and that was the end of it. So we got this as well. It's the intercooler, the injectors. I also did order another wastegate. Same one off of Jeff over at Revline. And believe it or not, he had a bunch of sales going on, so I said screw it and I'll just get one big order and see how it goes. So hopefully soon the injectors will be in and the wastegate will come in so that we can get the exhaust routed and hopefully made. But we're going to try to get this thing installed and see what's best for this setup here, because I plan on using the factory radiator for this car. The only downfall is I don't like that the hoses are going to be on this side. I could flip it over, but I don't know how I feel about that. I'm not too comfortable with it, so we're just gonna rock with it the way it sits. Maybe eventually I will change it out for a different radiator. I might get a half radiator, so that way it's over here, and then I have a little more room to work. I don't know yet. We'll figure it out. But for right now, I'm trying to keep it as minimal aftermarket parts as possible to suit my budget for everything right now. So I still have to get a couple more things. I gotta get a block off plate for the throttle body here. I gotta get that. Yeah, get a few more block off plates. I gotta probably get a block off plate for the VTEC solenoid, all that stuff. We're gonna try to figure that out. I gotta get a sandwich plate. I want to do all that, clean that up so that I can hook my oil feed line for my turbo up here. I want to get that done. I do have to, I believe, order a couple more fittings for the fuel lines and a couple more fittings for the brake lines. I think the ones I had just weren't working for me, so I'm going to order a couple different ones and see what we can come up with. But for the most part, that's what we got going on. So we're going to get to installing this and let's see how she looks. Alright, so we got the K-tuned pump installed, electric water pump installed, the bracketry over here, along with this bracket here, and the water plate installed with the piece that goes down from here to here. Pretty nifty setup. This is also for a K alternator, which I have to order one. I thought I was going to use a B series, but I am going to use a K series instead, and it fits just fine. So I will be getting a new one of them so I can get the rest of the alternator set up on here. Get my wiring all up in here. So also need to work on getting my injectors up. Wait for those to come in, so when I get those in I can finish the wiring, run that the way I want it, and that'll look all good. But that looks pretty dang good to me. So hopefully this will be enough. I do have to change the plug for the wiring for the water pump, but it's not a big deal. We also have to get a fitting for the other side of the water pump here. to fit to here. We're actually going to change this over. I believe there's a kit to change these over to AN. So that's what we are going to do with that. So we're going to change both of them. So these will all be AN down here, just like that one here. I'm going to do that. And I also have these little cardboard templates made up for the intercooler here, the way that will mount. This will go on the little bash bar that I have, and it will sit just like that on the front of the car. Let's see if we mount this up. Let's see what we got here. I'm gonna put you all down. Hopefully that's a cool view. But we got this here. We're going to, this is going to sit back. And maybe we can get it to sit right about there. Should be close enough to everything, high enough off the ground, not hitting the radiator. And it should be okay. I do need to pull this engine back apart. It's not a big deal, but to get the fuel tech to run with this, I have to do the crank wheel and I believe the cam wheel, I think. But for the most part, that isn't too bad. So as of right now, we are doing pretty good. I gotta get some block off plates, like I said. Got a big old list here. I gotta do a bunch of wiring. I gotta get an oil pan still. So, battery, catch can, body harness, coolant hoses, fan shroud. You know, ideally, the list is still kind of big, but as long as I can get it figured out for the most part, I think I'll be all right. So I fabbed up those brackets for the intercooler, believe it or not. I think they came out pretty dang good. Got it welded into the bash bar here. Mounted on both sides. There and there. And I rounded them off, made them look good. Just have to get some hardware for it. And I've got just enough room to have those come 90 off of here. The bottom one's gonna come up, and this one over here is gonna go straight to the throttle body. Nice and short and simple, but she looks pretty good. So that's the intercooler done there. Like I said at the beginning of this video, guys, I do apologize. It's taking me a while to get content out. Got some things happen here, just trying to get everything situated. But we're gonna keep progress going on this thing. As soon as I get some more parts in, we're gonna get this thing rolling and attempt to get it started. Hopefully within the next couple months before next season, so I can pull it all back apart, get the engine bay painted and everything else done that I want to get done, and hopefully have this thing up and running here soon. Thanks for watching, everybody.